Good morning, everybody. This is Tank's Vlog for January 23rd, 2019. We are wrapping up the day in sports. Not Babe Ruth, not Hank Aaron, not Ted Williams, not Willie Mays, not Jackie Robinson, not any other legend, Tom Seaver, Ken Griffey Jr. Nobody has ever gotten 100% of the Hall of Fame vote until 2019, when Mariano Rivera, the long-time legendary closer of the New York Yankees, was selected on all 425 ballots. Now, there is no doubt about it. Mariano Rivera deserves to be 100%. I don't think the story is that Mariano Rivera is the first to get 100%. I think the ridiculous part of the story is, how the hell did anyone vote against these other people? Seriously, Cal Ripken didn't get 100%? Nolan Ryan is there? Who are the morons that all these years didn't vote for Randy Johnson, Greg Maddux? These people should have been 100% a long time ago, especially Hank Aaron, Babe Ruth, Willie Mays, Ted Williams, Joe DiMaggio, Sandy Koufax. What was in the brains of these people who didn't vote against, who decided when they did their Hall of Fame, go, you know what? Hank Aaron's not a Hall of Famer. Of course, probably there are other alternative motives, considering it's Hank Aaron or Willie Mays. But Jesus, Mary and Joseph, come on! And there's no doubt about it. There's no debate. There's some debate, like in other sports and in football, whether Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time. Who the greatest basketball player is, though large part would say it's Michael Jordan. There's no debate here. Mariano Rivera is the greatest closer that ever played baseball. He leads most in saves. He's had a few awards here and there. He blew a few big games, namely the 2004 ALCS Game 4 and 2001 World Series Game 7. But other than that, he was almost dead on perfect. I mean, just look at the numbers. Look how successful he is. ERA sub-2. Incredible baseball player. Greatest reliever of all time. The all-time leading saver. And he didn't get his first save until he was 26. Think about that. Think about those stats. Think about how long it took him to finally make the majors. He was an old rookie when he finally made it up for good in 1996. Although 95 was his first year he spent most of the year in the majors. No one ever talked about him as a big prospect. No one ever talked about this. He was unassuming. So now we have the Sandman into the Hall of Fame. And one player who he's there's 3 players joining him. There's a group of 4 people getting into Hall of Fame this year per the vote. Not the Veterans Committee, which selected Lee Smith, well deserved, and Harold Baines. Who the hell put this guy in the Hall of Fame? It's ridiculous that Harold Baines is going in the Hall of Fame. And Harold Baines will no longer be the only DH in the Hall of Fame, because Harold Baines was predominantly a DH, and no one had ever been predominantly a DH before to get in the Hall of Fame. David Ortiz will be one of these people when he becomes eligible in a few years, but Edgar Martinez will be joining him. And Edgar Martinez is a Hall of Famer. All-time Mariner leading hitter in hits, clutch all the time. This guy was just a professional hitter. Just injuries hampered the early part of his career, which forced him into being the DH role. And there's no telling how healthy Edgar Martinez could have been his whole career. Now they're also joined by Roy Halladay, who sadly won't be able to enjoy it after his untimely death last year. But Roy Halladay, one of the best pitchers of the first decade of the new millennium, two-time Cy Young winner, Blue Jays and Phillies. And then you got Mike Mussina. I mean, Mike Mussina was clutch all the way. I mean, there are just so many people that should be in the Hall of Fame ahead of Mike Mussina, personally, I think. And hopefully their time will come. Tommy John needs to be in the Hall of Fame. And it's time to put in the steroid guys. You may not like it, but how do we know Mike Mussina didn't juice? How do we know that? We don't know that. How do we know what Roy Halladay, who struggled in the early part of his career, went to the single-A minors like the year 2000 and then came up, all of a sudden he's unhittable? How do you know he didn't find a little magic potion? We don't know. So many people cheated. We don't know. We just got to put this era and call it the steroid era. And let the people who put up the numbers in this era. I mean, if there's only a few guys cheating, okay, then you say, you're not getting in. I mean, you're telling me you're going to keep A-Rod out of the Hall of Fame? It's ridiculous that Barry Bonds is in the Hall of Fame. It's ridiculous that Roger Clemens, as much as I hate that motherfucking son of a bitch, that he's not in the Hall of Fame. Even Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, Rafael Palmeiro, Fred McGriff. Open your doors, Cooperstown. Open your doors, and, of course, Pete Rose needs to be in with Shoeless Joe. Moving on to the NBA. It was the Toronto Raptors beating the Sacramento Kings 120-105. The Thunder struck down the Trailblazers 123-114. And it was the Mavericks slipping past the Clippers 106-98 and the Timberwolves in a fight-filled game, beating the Suns 118-91. On Night on the Ice, NHL getting ready for the All-Star break. Devils have already on the All-Star break, although Devils took the All-Star break a day early on Saturday when they laid an egg against the Anaheim Ducks. Oh, don't get me started. And it was the San Jose Sharks keeping the Capitals off kilter in a absolute total goal-scoring palooza. Alex Ovechkin got a hat trick, and Tomas Hertl got a hat trick. And Tomas Hertl's hat trick played key, scoring the game winner in overtime as the Sharks beat the Capitals 7-6. It was the Coyotes beating the Senators 3-2. The Blackhawks stopped the Islanders' winning streak, although they still got a point, losing in a shootout 3-2. It was the Flames on a goal by Marcus Backlund beating Hurricanes 3-2, and the Red Wings down the Oilers 3-2. So if you're an NHL bettor, 3-2 was your magic number on Tuesday. Today's three stars are Thomas Hertl with his hat trick, the game winner in overtime, and assist for a 4-point night in the Sharks 7-6 win over the over the Capitals. Paul George of the Thunder had 36 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists in a win over the Trailblazers. And Karl Anthony Towns, 25 points, 18 rebounds, 7 assists as the Timberwolves downed the Suns. Today's birthday shout-out goes to an all-time great NHL player, played briefly with the Devils in his early part of his career and towards the end of his career. Probably best known for his years with the Red Wings, but of course, the big thing he did with the Devils was leave. And when he left as a restricted free agent, the Devils were able to get compensation. And that compensation ended up being Scott Stevens. Think about that one. That was... I mean, and Brandon Shanahan in St. Louis wasn't a big success. That ended up being a bad move for the Blues. But couldn't work out better for the Devils, as Scott Stevens was the heart, soul, and the defensive leader, captain of their 3 Stanley Cup teams. And we go back to 1929 when the New York Yankees announced that they're going to be wearing numbers on the back of their uniform. That was the beginning of uniform numbers in baseball. Before that, teams experimented with numbers on their sleeve. With the Indians did it in 1916, the Cardinals in 1923. But when the Yankees put it on their back, soon everyone said, "Oh, that's a good idea. You can let players, our fans, know who these guys are." And then everyone started following suit. Then, 40 years later, they put names on the back, and the New York Yankees said, "Nah." It's crazy to think that the Yankees are the first team to put numbers on the back of the uniform and have never put the name on the back of the uniform, and they're proud of it. It makes me wonder, these Yankee fans that come around, walking around with jerseys with their player's name on the back. 2, Jeter. 42, Rivera. 99, Judge. My father is a Yankee fan. He said he would never wear a Yankee jersey or a Yankee shirt that had a player's name on the back. And to me, I think that should be the attitude of Yankee fans. If they don't put the names on the back, you shouldn't have the name on the back. Check out the full story at Barstool Sports and its Sports Encyclopedia, where sports history lives. Good day.